Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Huddle Time. How's everybody doing? Happy 4th? Happy 5th? I don't know. This is the first time I've ever heard that we have a prolonged holiday, something that we celebrate tomorrow because the 4th ended on Sunday. So yeah, nobody wanted to just give their day off. So I guess we decided to do it on the 5th. It is what it is. It is the 5th. And I'm really super excited to be here today. We are about 5 minutes late to the show because I totally mixed up my times. I've been traveling for 4 zones in the past 1 month. So I thought we were going to be 1 more hour. Well, here we are. It's Huddle Time with Ronit, and happy times. We are in Bellingham, Washington State, right on the Puget Sound. It's super beautiful around here, and we're going to be here for a couple months. So I'm going to see you every week on Huddle Time. Today, we have a very special topic we're going to talk about. But for anybody who has not yet to visit us at Huddle Time with Ronit, and you just happen to be live and watching our Facebook, welcome to Huddle Time with Ronit. Thank you for tuning in. Our partners and sponsors, Americans Beauty Show, Cosmetology of Chicago, and every Monday we bring to you guests, really special guests, on a weekly discussion, thought leaders, doers, sharing with us great successful tips that they are doing in their entrepreneurial businesses, in their life, in your career, how we can better our times, how we can better our leadership, how we can better our businesses, how we can create more freedom, how we can add more financial success, happiness, and bring it right to you guys. Again, for anybody who doesn't know him, I'm Ronit Enos, CEO of Salon Cadence Accelerator company. It's a white glove teaching and training company for all salons and spa owners in the industry. Now, you know that I love talking about money. I'm a Prophet Jedi. And today I have a very, very special guest, my very good friend, LaShawne Holland, she is a nation leading expert on the art of activating wealth potential. Wealth potential, that means that it's unlimited potential for that. How she financially architect your company or your life to really achieve your desires, your goals. She's an entrepreneur and a chief financial officer of LaShawne Holland, is a founder of the Wealthy Leader Institute, a chairman of LaShawne Holland International. She's an author of Born to Multiply, which we're going to talk about today, and the founder of the Wealthy Revolution live event and the Money Made Easy Masterclass Network. So we are going to cover great conversations today about finance, about wealth, about mindset of money, and just about happiness. So let's welcome here today LaShawne, my good friend. Hola.
Hola, chica. How are you?
I'm doing good. I love your new hair. It looks phenomenal.
Thank you.
Phenomenal. So just to let everybody know, just about 2 months ago, LaShawne turned 50. And she decided to celebrate that in Florida and we all met in Naples, Florida, and celebrated her 50. And then she decided, I think it was a week afterwards, she texted me and she goes like, I am going blonde. Literally, she had my hair red, and she went from red to this. Now, how does it feel to be a blonde? Do you really have more fun?
I'm trying to find out. It's going amazing so far. I absolutely love it.
Well, the yellow definitely suits you perfectly, and I love the cut. I mean, how was it to sit down at the hair salon, knowing that you're going from this long hair to this short? How empowering was it?
I was really, really nervous. I was texting you the whole time we were, trying to decide to do it or not. But after the first chop that she cut, I couldn't turn back. So,
That,
and it's only hair, right? It can grow back, and if you can't grow it, you can sew it. So, you know,
I love it. If you can't grow it, you can sow it. I love that
that's
for
right.
everybody out there. Yeah. So, and how is it? How's the blonde? Did you have
I
to
love
adjust
it.
to the feedback?
I do. One of the reasons why I decided to do is because I love the water, and I am planning on, this, Ronit, I love to travel. So I want to do a lot of travel. And I'm really nervous between swimming in the pool and swimming in the ocean. I think I contacted you when I was getting ready to go to the pool for the first time. And by the way, my hair turned green in places when I went swimming for the first time. But I love it. I love the change.
Yeah.
I heard once someone says that a woman that cuts her hair is about to change the world.
Ah,
So
interesting. I love that.
yeah.
Okay. I love that. I've heard a couple of times from these great women that a woman is reborn every 10 years. Every
I
10
heard that too.
and woman is reborn. And you know what, I don't know, I love change too. My friend Leon Alexander the other day, he's been working on me to says, Ronit, you don't want to use the word change too many often. People are kind of scared of that word. um,
Right.
try pivot, go pivot, or transition. And I said, you know what, Leon, at the end of the day, it's all bullshit. It's a change. And to me, change is exciting. I'm super excited about changes. And my grandmother always said, change is good.
Yeah,
So
I
I
agree.
I love how you look. I love it. It's so beautiful.
Thank
And I
you.
love the lipstick. It's a new lipstick. You
It's a
know,
new lipstick for me. Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's
I'm
a lot.
normally in red.
All right, let's talk about my favorite subject. Now, LaShawne, you've been in this business of money coaching, financial coaching, security coaching. What's the biggest challenge when it comes to understanding the concept of creating wealth?
I think the biggest challenge is fear. Probably is the biggest challenge because people don't really understand the stock market, and they're not sure, of what to do. So I think that is the biggest challenge between fear and mindset, right? I don't think people really understand the power of compounding, right? You have one of our great forefathers who said compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. And so it's an amazing thing when you can take $10 and compound it, and the next day is $20, and the next day is $40, and the next day is $80, and the next day is $160. And so people don't understand the value that time gives you when multiplying their money. And so that it will be fear, and then not really understanding the power of compounding.
Now, when it comes to understanding, what does it took you to really understand, investments, understand the stock market, understand where to invest? What do you need to do in order to become, um, and I'm going to ask that question because for me to run my company in a profit way, I had to learn about numbers and I had to fall in love with numbers. But
Right.
investing is different.
Yeah.
Investing is understanding the game.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. If you don't know the rules, you can't play the game. And if you can't read the scoreboard, then you don't know if you're winning or not. And so I think that's really important. What it took for me was I lost a lot of money. And so after that, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to leave my financial future into the hands of someone else. And that meant for me at that time, years and years and years ago, it was real estate. And so I met some people in Las Vegas that totally changed my life. They were doing things that I had never seen done before. They were investing in things that I had never heard of before. And so before I jumped out there again, because I had done investments before in IULs and other things, and lost my money. And I wasn't interested in keep losing my money. I wanted to learn how to win. And so I decided that I was going to educate myself and learn about crisis investing, not just the stock market, but I wanted to learn about the cycles of the different asset classes and bubbles and how did they affect, because I lost a lot of money in the real estate bubble in the last crash. And so I really wanted to dive in and educate myself. I didn't want to just turn it over to a brokerage firm and expect them to make my money grow. I wanted to have my own voice with my own money. And so really that is what encouraged me to dive in. And so I took classes. I flew all over the nation, you know, taking courses and really I immersed myself, right? Immersion is the way that you go to mastery. And so I changed all the types of magazines that I was reading. And I started buying magazines that really amplified assets and me being able to multiply my money. And so I just surrounded myself with like-minded people also.
So I think that you're referring to something that you use in your book that says evolution of money.
Right. The evolution of money.
The evolution of money. So can we dig into evolution of money?
Yeah. I think as human beings, we should, not everybody does, but I think we should evolve as time go on. And I think your money should evolve also with new concepts and strategies of being able to grow. Your money shouldn't look the same year after year after year. And so it's after I make the money, what do I do to be able to multiply the money that I have made? And so it's a conversation that a lot of times people don't know that they should be having. You know, they want to live the good life, but, you know, fast forward several years, you know, did they prepare for their golden years? What avenues do they have? What asset classes do they have that's, you know, starting to or bringing you more income in? Right.
Yeah.
So it's more than just me being able to make money. It's being able to multiply my money and being able to preserve my money. Right. I don't want to pay more in taxes than I should. And we have wonderful tax laws that were written for people who are investors and people who set up business systems.
So evolution of, so going back to investing, it's what you're pretty much saying that when you earn money, okay, most of the people, when it is your job, you have a job, and if you're lucky, you love your job and you have a really great income, but it's, you can't stop there because it's not enough.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, you have to learn.
If we learned anything from COVID, we should learn that nothing is, there's no such thing as a safe and secure job anymore. And so, you know, evolution simply means growth. And I need to know how to be able, no matter what the market is doing, no matter what the economy is doing, because you said earlier, you said a woman changes every 10 years. Well, our economy changes every 3 years. And so what we don't realize is we've just had a big quantum leap in our economy. And I don't think people really realize it. And for the first time in over 300 years, we have a new asset class that has been created. And, you know, people don't understand. It could be the internet of our time. And so it really is learning, okay, now that I do have money, and you don't need a lot of money to get started in investing. That is a myth. Most people think that they can't afford to invest. That's simply not true. You can, you know, I've had people start with as little as $25 a month. And so it's simply not true. But I think people have to be willing to seek a turnaround with their money, right? You got to be willing to seek a turnaround. And when you do that and seek a turnaround, you think about it. Bill Gates, you know, was one idea away from Microsoft. Michael Dell was one idea away from Dell Computers. Sam Walton was one idea away from Walmart. And so Elon Musk was one idea away from Tesla. And so we have to be in a position where we're seeking a turnaround and we're not afraid to be able to learn. I mean, Sarah Blakely, you could name so many people out here, Bob Johnson, Tyler Perry, Jeff Bezos, so many people sought a turnaround and they were only one idea away from, what they've been able to accomplish. And so I think the second biggest thing is really submit to a teacher. And that's just what I did. I wanted to find someone that was invested on a bigger level. And I wanted to become their student so I could learn. Tony Robbins says it takes 10,000 hours to master anything. And so again, I really had to immerse myself in it.
So you, in order to learn, you actually found a great teacher that you could follow, but you trusted that great teacher.
Yeah.
And
well, not automatically in the beginning. It took a while for me to find someone that really, okay, when you look at the different asset classes, you got to pick one that you want to learn about. It's hard to do all 5 at one time. And so it took me a while. I read tons of books about it. And a lot of times people say they can teach you, but they're not really willing to teach you. And so it was level, seasons, and stages for me. It didn't all happen overnight, but eventually I did find a really, really good teacher.
Yeah. And that's really what it takes. I feel like, like you said, it's so smart what you said. LaShawne, I've been your friend for a long time now. And to know that, and we discussed this many times, teaching, it's one thing, but being a great student is what makes you being a great teacher.
Right.
And so, and the passion is behind helping people really multiply their time investment and their money investment.
Yeah.
Now, what made you start the movement, as you call it, which I agree, it's a movement?
Yeah, it is a movement. I think it's a revolution. Roni, my background, my story. I didn't grow up wealthy. I didn't grow up in a wealthy family. My mom was very young when she had me. She was a teenager. My father was still a teenager. And I grew up, I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do when I grew up. I remember my 3rd grade teacher going around the room asking kids to stand up and say what they wanted to do. And of course, kids, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a nurse, an attorney. I didn't want to be any of those things. And I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew one thing that I didn't want to be. So when they got to me, I stood up and said, I don't want to be broke. And not that I even knew in the 3rd grade the totality of what that meant, but there was a young man in my class who kids used to tease him all the time because he lived in a trailer. By no means did I live in a trailer. I don't have the story of how we were destitute. Like I always, had a roof over my head, food on the table, clothes, shoes. I always had the necessities, but I always used to, once I learned something, I would go teach. And I found myself doing that all the time. And then I was in a church where the pastors asked me to start teaching financial classes. And so I started teaching financial classes in the beginning for free. And so I taught in churches all over the country, from the West Coast to the East Coast in the US, down south, up north. I taught all over for 18 years about money before I even started doing it as a business. And so I was just passionate about helping people not only become financially free, but also gain time freedom.
Yeah. And I think that's what people miss, is that time is even more important than money, because that you cannot buy, obviously. I know it's all this cliche, but it is so true. Now, LaShawne, you teach many classes. What is your favorite class in all your teaching, in all your programs, that you love teaching, especially people that really want to learn, but don't have the time to learn?
Yeah. My favorite class actually is not our investing class. We do have two programs where we teach options trading. Get Started and Get Some are the two classes. But my favorite thing to teach is to teach people how to use their, what I call their bankable purpose, right? Because I believe that wealth follows purpose. And so if you can tap into that purpose, you can tap into your wealth stream. So I love teaching people how to use what's in their hand to be able to increase their income and multiply their money. Like,
So,
that's where I come alive.
yeah. So in order to see and to learn, at least I don't like to call it basics, but to really get the very good, that's a good start for a class.
Yeah. Can you repeat yourself? You went out.
Yeah, is that a great way to start the journey of wealth education and wealth building?
Absolutely. I believe if I can set up consistent cash flow, right? Predictable, consistent cash flow coming in, it gives me the ability to be able to invest in other asset classes. Like for me, the game is having multiple, I call them revenue rivers, or having cash flow. When I teach my clients how to go from making, I've had clients that made as little as, 20 something $1,000 a year, and a year, 12 months. And they go from making that for 12 months to making it every 30 days. Like, that's a game changer. And I don't think that, it's not that people aren't making enough money. It's that they're not making enough money quickly, because money loves speed. And so if I make, if I make $40,000 a year and I work for 30 years, will I have $1 million? And if I'm only making that amount, yeah, you will. But are you a millionaire? No. Why? Because it took you too long to make the money. But if I took that same amount of money and I started making it every single month, that changes the game, right? Yeah. And absolutely. So I'm able to not just put cash away, I'm able to invest in equities or stocks or ETFs to make my money grow. I'm able to make my money grow through real estate. I'm able to make my money go through bonds, which is simply like loaning the government money, right? And so I'm able to make my money grow through commodities, which stuff like crude oil and gold and silver and copper and, all of these things. And then, the new asset class has been created, which is cryptocurrency. And so I absolutely love being able to teach people that.
I love that. And speaking about, assets like that, the ETF, crypto, all of the new ways. I mean, the younger crowd, like, I don't know, when we're talking about a younger crowd, I know that for a lot of the youth and the younger entrepreneurs, they're already vested thousands of dollars in digital currency and doing other things. They're so well educated. They're such a do-it-yourself mindset. However, for people that are in their 40s and going in, from 40s to the 50s, for one thing, I want you to tell me, is it too late for that age? Can you start at any time?
Absolutely not, Ronit. I was getting ready to tell you, the person that I found that taught me was 80 years old. 80.
No way.
80 years old. Him and his wife were both 80 years old. That's who I learned how to do options trading from. And so it is never too late. The difference is you can actually learn and start making money in the market in less than 100 days, right? Yeah. We've had clients start to invest after 30 days. And so it doesn't take long. It's the mindset of people that think that I can't do it and I can't learn it. If, I believe that we're some of the most creative beings on the face of the earth, right? But the moment we say we can't do something, you've cut off all your creativity. And it's simply not true. Again, I had someone teach me who was 80 years old. And so, if it's something that you want to be bad, that you want bad enough, I always ask people, how big is your want to? You have to want it bad enough, but it's not hard to learn.
It's not hard to learn. So in order to get into a program to learn, okay, and we're going to talk we're going to go and dive a little bit more about tips in just a little bit. But I want to share with our audience here, for everybody who is on the audience, whether you're a stylist, whether you just left school, okay, you just finished school, you're in your early 20s, you're in the late, where you are you a salon owner? Are you at the point where you're a suite? Or you're moving from a suite to a salon? Maybe you're a 6-chair salon and you're moving to $1 million income. Whether you're $1 million income and you have multiple location, number one, most important thing in any business that I've teaching and coaching day in and day out, I always say, you have find your financial multiplier. You have to find it. Anybody ever ask what is scalability? What is scaling?
I think
if everybody ever asks you, what is scaling?
Not everybody, Ronit, wants to scale, but scalability is me being able to really grow and go to the next level where I really am operating off of time freedom, right? It's being able to do what I want, when I want, with who I want, for however long that I want to, and not miss or mess up my standard of living, right? And so scalability is going from one revenue level to another revenue level, and I am actually building that asset of a business, whether you're, like you said, you're still behind a chair, or you have multiple salons that you own, being able to go from one state to another state, which is evolution, right?
Yes, it is. It's a total evolution, and that's a total mindset that I find most of the time with anybody who wants to go from point. If you're a CEO of your chair, you want to get to be the ringleader of your company,
Right.
and from the ringleader of your company, you don't want to multiply your ring leadership. You want to get to the visionary stage,
Right.
and that
Absolutely.
is scaling.
Right.
How can you get from point A to the other point without multiplying your time? Without multiplying your time. And
That's
so
really
in order
systems.
Yeah.
So I think doing that is being able to put the right systems in place. A lot of times, I'm sure you're familiar with the Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, but one of the things that I often talk, even when I'm on stages or I'm working with my clients, the goal really is to get on the right side of the quadrant, where there's business systems and investing. What is where you're putting your money to work for you. A lot of times people stay on jobs because their money is unemployed, right? But if I set up the correct systems where, I am no longer trading my time for dollars, but yet I'm still able to bring in revenue and increase that revenue, where, I'm the visionary, I'm focusing on growth and where we're going. And then you start to plug and play. I make sure I can hire the right people to put them in the right place so that we are able to scale.
Yeah. And so in order to scale, and for anybody who wants to start getting, getting knowledge and learning how to do it, whether it's with themselves or a teacher, LaShawne, you're the one. What will be the best way to start in your process? And I love to call it process.
Yeah. For me, really, it is taking a look at what I call your financial compass, right? Because I'm an accountant. That's my background. That's what my degree is in. Really being able, like you say, because you teach it all the time, Ronit, you got to know your numbers. And so I look at the financial compass, where we are, where we can find the red holes. Where are the holes in what we're doing, right? Because you can't stop the bleeding if you don't know where the holes are. So I can get a complete picture of where I am. And then we look at the vision of where it is that you want to go. And then it's being able to build the system to be the bridge that can take you from where you are to where you want to go.
So in time perspective, since we love time, how much time do you need to invest in a weekly, in what times in a day that we need to invest in order to get financial freedom?
I think for everybody it's different, right, Roni? Because financial freedom for people is different. I don't like cookie cutters, right? That's one of the things that I used to always have an issue with these financial experts that were out here, is because they lumped everybody into the same bowl and everybody is in the same place. Like I said before, what financial freedom looks like for one person may be completely different. Years ago, I just wanted to be debt free. Was that financial freedom? Heck no, it wasn't financial freedom, because I still had the element of trading time for dollars. And so once I paid off all my debt, paid off all my credit cards, paid off my student loan, all my car notes, everything, I still wasn't financially free. So what did I have to do? I had to redefine what financial freedom meant to me. And I think at different stages in your life, it has a different definition. I didn't start out to be a multimillionaire. Now, I love where I am today, but I didn't start out there, because as you grow, your vision grows also.
So let's bring it back to time, LaShawne. What somebody who wants to start, what is a good amount of time that they can invest by reading and learning and being taught in your company?
Yeah. Well, again, it is different for everybody, but if I had to put a time frame, I believe that if you really want to change where you are and build time freedom and financial freedom, you have to be willing to put in. I remember times when I was working a full-time job with 3 little kids, right? And I had to figure out, I had to take a time audit. What am I doing with my time? And so it was different time frames for me, Ronit, because it was dependent on what it is that I was trying to do. But if I had to stay up late at night, I would do it. If I had to carve out and get up an extra 2 hours early in the morning so that I could do it, I was willing. I had a big enough why, I had a big enough want to be able to do it. And so I was putting in an additional 20 plus hours in building in the beginning when I was still working for someone else. It can't
and
be,
I love it.
Yeah, it cannot be, what they call it, a entrepreneur, where you're given 1 or 2 hours a week. Like nothing shifts like that. Again,
so it's funny that you're saying that, because the other day I had a conversation with a potential client. And I was telling her that in order to really create that scalability model in her company, in order to move from the CEO of everything to a visionary place where the company is actually working for you, I said the minimum amount that you need to invest in learning and actually implementing, I said the minimum amount a week is 6 hours. And do you know what I got from her?
What?
6 hours. Oh my God. That's a long time. That's a long time. I said 6 hours is a long time to have freedom and to have scalability. I mean, literally, how many hours do you spend on watching Netflix? How many hours do you spend time on cooking? I said, it's amazing to me that I'm looking at 20 hours. If I have to spend 20 hours to make my first $1 million on multiplying my earnings, I mean, sign me up, girl. Now.
Sign me
Sign
up.
me up.
Like
Oh,
I'm running after freedom. Sign me up. But again, it goes back to mindset. There's a difference between a mindset of a consumer versus a mindset of a producer,
okay.
right? And so consumers don't have the vision. They don't raise their heads high enough to see the opportunity of freedom.
I love that. It's really is that what you said, the mindset of a consumer or the mindset of a producer. So
Right.
everybody that not only that it's a mindset of a producer, I want to change that and say this is a mindset of a visionary producer. So that
Right.
means you are not working with your hands. You know, the time
Right.
is working for you. So
Right.
let's go back into talking a little bit. So everybody there, just to reset where we are today, LaShawne Holland is the queen of multiplication. She is a great teacher. She is a great student, and her passion is to teach us how to multiply her earning, how to look at wealth in a different way, how to create, how to make it a passion of yours, right? And from what I've heard, LaShawne, many times, it's great to start multiplying and investing in the market, things in places that mean something to you. Like if
Yeah.
you're going to invest in ETF, if you're going to use crypto, if you're going to use any Bitcoin news studies, you want to invest in something that means something to you. Is that true?
For me, no. I think that is old information that doesn't work in this economy.
Okay.
And I say that because the way I am a contrarian investor, what that means is I don't follow the herd when I invest. I actually know how to read charts, right? And I allow the market to tell me what the market is doing. I may not like your company, I can care less, but I know if you're getting ready to have a certain point drop, I'm going to place, a put on your company. You have to mean zero to me. But if I have the ability to make 600, 700, 1,000% in the day, it doesn't matter to me whether I like your company, you mean something. I used to hear that all the time growing up. Take a look in your kitchen. If you have Folgers coffee, you should invest in the company. What appliances do you have? If you have GE, you should invest in GE. To me, that information is so old because you make way more money invested in individual stocks than you do in mutual funds or any of that. And so, again, I can't stress this enough. Money loves speed. And so if the charts show me today that there is a particular sector in the market that's getting ready to shoot up because of earnings, I'm going to place a call on that. I don't have to love the stock. I can care less. All I see is opportunity for me to be able to make money. And so that's why I say that's just old information for me that I don't follow because I know of another path that we have been extremely successful in.
I love it. So, for anybody who's listening to us, the first thing we want to do is start the. What is the name of the first course that you love so much? The something with purpose.
Oh, it's called Born to Multiply. It's named after my book that's in the background behind me. It's our program called Born to Multiply. And so it's really learning what you have available in your hand. It was one of the first things that my first business money mentor asked me when I was in Las Vegas. He says, "What do you have in your hand?" And I think a lot of times we discount our talents and we discount our abilities and our gifts, but really your gift is what makes room for you. And so, what is it, that thing that I know I'm excellent at? I didn't find it automatically. When he turned around and he was like, "What do you have in your hand?" He was asking me to be able to do business. At that time, I was still working a job. I was like, "I have a bonus coming at the end of the year." And he was like, "Okay, this is the plan. This is what we're going to do." And he laid out my bankable purpose plan. And so when I started out with vending machines. Then the vending machines gave us money to be able to get into real estate. Real estate money allowed us to be able to purchase a brokerage firm. And so, I just used steps, but towards the vision, but I used what was in my hands. And so I think it's very important for us to understand what we have in our hands so that we can use that as, I call it your internal currency. You can use that to be able to bring in more cash flow in your house. So it's the Born to Multiply program.
Okay, thank you for that. And so for anybody who's listening, this is the right program to start with. You obviously can get LaShawne's book, but I really do think that having a coach and having a regular time, and it's well worth the investment. So enlighten me with crypto. Everybody is into the coins right now. What is it? Because
everybody is into coins right now, and I years ago, I think it was 2009, is when my husband and I had the first opportunity to get into Bitcoin. I am not a Bitcoin fan. I'm not going to discount the money that people have been able to make in Bitcoin, but I was always a little leery of just the not having much regulation over it. But again, for the first time in over 300 years, we have a new asset class that has been born in cryptocurrency. And so I think our real first venture into the quantum age of cryptocurrency, there's so many out there, but one of my favorites happens to be XRP, which is done through Ripple. And so I think it has the potential to be the internet of value. Like when the internet was created, it totally changed the global economy. And I think XRP has the same potential to be the internet of value and to really bridge old currencies like the fiat or the US dollar with new currencies such as, asset-backed currencies and digitally, and it can create other digital commodities and stocks. And so it's really changing. The banking industry is changing. The central banks. There are over 300 countries around the world that is actually using it. So it's a digital asset, and it's a fast, low-cost payments transfer system is what it is. And so it's connecting like central banks, their digital coins and currencies and other assets. And so it'll allow you to really exchange anything from one thing to another at a low cost and to do it in record time. And so I love that particular cryptocurrency. What I will tell you, there are a million of videos that are out there. And so you really do have to do your homework and know what you're getting into, because one of the things that I was leery about in the beginning was the fact, okay, if I lose my money here, if I'm dealing with stocks inside of our stock market, I can actually contact, the SEC if somebody takes my money, or there are different regulations depending on what state you're in, where I can contact the Federal Trade Commission, I can contact my state attorney general. Well, with cryptocurrency, who are you going to call? Like, that old movie, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? Like, who are you going to call? And so it's really important for you to educate yourself. But I love the time that we are in, because cryptocurrency really is changing. It's changing the game and how we operate. I think our old banking system and the banking the way that we knew it has changed, right? And so we really are in the quantum age of money. And so it's, everything is turning digitally. And so you can, I think, depending on which one you invest in, what becomes your favorite, you have an opportunity to be able to protect your wealth too. And so I think I love it. I love the opportunity to be able to really grow in cryptocurrency. I think it's here. It's not going anywhere. And I think for me personally, I think XRP really is going to change how the world operates.
I totally agree, and it's been fun playing with this, LaShawne.
Yeah.
Now you spoke a little bit about security and how you got to be very careful. What are the 3 things or 4 things that anybody who is actually getting into the market as a beginner crypto trader, what are the 3 things we should do in order to protect our currency?
One really is researching the company, right? And like for me, Ripple answered a lot of the questions that I had to be able to do, not only get my money, but be able to protect it, download it. It was just really different. The blockchain that is created on is completely different. So I think it's important that you really research the company behind the crypto. You want to know who they have on their team. Like I want to know who's the CEO, who's the, I wanted to look at the top 5 positions in the company to see where their experience, where did they have their experience, where are they coming from. The second thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to go to the SEC to see what claims were filed, or even just Google, what claims are filed. And number 3, I want to know how easy it is for me to get my money. A lot of these cryptocurrencies, once you put your money in, it's like pulling teeth to try to cash out and get your money out. And so, those were 3 really important things for me to know. How can I get my money out? How soon? Although when I did XRP, it's a buy and hold for me, right? It's a 3 to 5 year position for me. So I knew that going in, but I still wanted to see what was going on with the people, the heads, the leadership of the company, the vision, where they wanted to take it, where their experience came from. I didn't want some farmer Joe from Utah who has farmed all his life with no experience in that, dealing with payment transfers and stuff, to just start a cryptocurrency and think I was going to send him thousands of dollars. Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Now, I hear that you have to buy a special key so you
Yep.
can download all the.
Want me to show you what it looks like?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Hold on one second. It's on the other side of my desk.
Yeah. Isn't LaShawne's great? So for anybody who's coming in, we're talking about money, we're talking about trading, we're talking about risks, and what's currently we can do to multiply.
This
there we go.
It's a NanoX Ledger.
Okay.
And so I just ordered another one. It's a device that you can actually keep your cryptocurrency secure. So you can get it off of Amazon. It looks like this, and you log in and you download your cryptocurrencies here and keep this in a safe place. I put it in a safety deposit box, or you can keep it at your house, wherever you want to keep it. But that's what it is. It's a NanoX Ledger.
I have one question I have a few questions right here, but how do you trust on the internet investing and putting your personal information out there? Or do you use a specific app that you like the most?
I do. And one of the apps, I have a few that I actually work with. Of course, I have my TD Ameritrade account, which is what I do my options trading in. But I love Uphold. Uphold is actually where I get my cryptocurrency. That's an app. I like One Gold. I use One Gold when I'm buying my commodities, like my gold, my silver, my titanium. I really like that app. One of the reasons why I love One Gold is because it's actually backed by physical gold. It's backed by physical silver. And you have to be really careful with these companies out here, because they're just silver on paper, and that means nothing. And so I actually wanted to have the physical. I buy physical silver. I love physical silver. I have a lot of it. And physical gold. But the thing with when I buy the stock of silver or gold, I want it to be actually backed by silver or gold. And so I think that's really important, and to know the right ticker symbols for it, right? That's, GDL X is one of my favorites because it's backed by the physical gold. And so you got to do the research and make sure that they're actually backed by the physical stuff.
So all the stuff that you're sharing with us, and thank you for so many great tips. This is really a valuable information, everybody. This is gold. Do you go over it in your program, and how does the, I mean, do you include all of this information, current information, new things that are coming up? Why is your program is so amazing?
Because we're giving you the most relevant for you to take your own financial power back in your hands to be able to do it. I believe that financial planners are nothing more than salespeople, and they can only offer you what their company allows them to give you, and that's it. And so, if there's something that is a better fit based off of my value investing, then I want to be able to do that. And so, me writing a check or them doing a direct withdrawal out of my account every month doesn't teach you anything. And I'll really quick, I'll never forget the first financial planner that I dealt with. I was kind of slow in making a decision with her. And she told us at that time, it was, almost 3 decades ago, we couldn't make any donations to our church. That's what she said, we couldn't afford to. She said we couldn't afford to keep our kids in private school. She gave all of these reasons of things that we couldn't afford, but she magically found enough money in our budget for me to be able to send her several $100s a month. And so I still didn't go with her because I knew on the inside that I was supposed to be doing business. And then she called and was like, if you don't hurry up, if your wife doesn't hurry up, she called my husband and was like, if your wife doesn't hurry up and fill out the paperwork, she's going to make me miss my bonus.
Well,
right. And so I knew she wasn't the investor, she wasn't the person for me. I didn't sign up with her, but I also realized that had I signed up with her, my money would have been working for her way before it would have worked for me in the market because of the fees. And so I took time out to educate myself about the fees, whether it was a top loaded fund or a back loaded fund. I wanted to know how my money was going to work for me. And so I really discovered that it works better. I can make more money in individual stocks than I can if I'm to send my money off to a brokerage. And so I love the fact that TD Ameritrade has a new platform called Thinkorswim that is so much education on there. Like, you can take your own tutorials on their platforms now, because just the world of money is changing and people aren't as trusting, especially after the last crash. And when you're looking at the new reset that's coming up and this next crash, people want to have more control over their money.
Yeah. So in talking about that, the last correction was October of last year. And do you think we're heading into another one?
Absolutely. I think that was just, how when the earthquake comes, they're like little movements in the beginning before the big one. And I think that's what it was. We have multiple bubbles in the market right now. This is the longest stretch of a bull market that we've ever had in history. And so, listen, the thing I had my wealth coach years ago taught me, she says, look, billionaires set the tone for the market. So follow and watch where they put their money. And I remember during the last crash, I started following, it's an app called iBillionaire. And so I saw Warren Buffett was moving his money out of real estate and putting them into commodities. I saw Carlos Slim Helu. And so I saw all of these billionaires that I've been following start moving their money. And so I'm like, hey, I'm going to start moving mine too, because they know something probably that I'm not aware of. And I will tell you this, in those rooms, wealthy people move completely different. The information that they have about the market is completely different. That's why it's important for you to learn how to read the candlesticks and read the charts and all of that stuff yourself, because your financial planner is not going to call you up. We had a client because we also do annuities also, we had a client that met with her financial planner after the last crash, and she told her, well, I was able to move my money just in time. Well, she moved her money, but she didn't move her client's money. And, they lost 6 figures doing that correction. And so I can see, I'm looking at the charts and I'm reading, I know how to preserve my money and make money no matter the way the market goes up or down. Tradition shows us that we only want to go up. But you can make money in the market no matter which direction it's in. And a lot of people don't know that. And so it doesn't matter if the market goes up, down, sideways, diagonal, or stagnant. We teach people no matter what direction the market is going, you can make money.
So, and of course, it has to do with how, what kind of a risk you want to take. Now,
right. What's your risk tolerance level? You have to know your risk tolerance level.
You do. And if you don't know, you can learn, right? So, yes. LaShawne, in order to
online, you can take that.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. So if I wanted to start working with LaShawne, do you do any programs that are one-on-one, one on a group? What kind of a consulting and what kind of coaching do you do?
It depends on what your vision, where you want. I do have group coaching. I have a program that's called Velocity Mastermind, which is a 10-month-long program that I absolutely love. And with the Velocity Mastermind program, I actually do a program called Rich Minds, which is a mindset mastery for wealthpreneurs, and the Born to Multiply program is all wrapped up into that program. And it's a group coaching program that goes year round, but it's specifically a 10-month-long program. And we do have a program called Overdrive where we do one-to-one, those one-to-one coaching.
Got it. And the beginner class would be what?
Born to Multiply.
Born to Multiply.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So we're coming up to the top of the hour, my friend.
Yes.
And it's been an amazing wealth of information. Thank you so much. I know you had your class today and we screwed up. I screwed up the time and we screwed up our conversation, but this has been amazing. Thank you so much for doing this. For anybody who wants to work with LaShawne or is interested in the book, you know where to get it. We posted a lot of it out there. We talked about correction. The correction is coming. It's been the longest stretch. So it's coming anytime. Do you believe that real estate correction? Because they say every year they say real estate is going to correct. Real estate is going to correct, but yet it has not been corrected. If anything, it's been going off the charts.
Yeah, but that's how you know the correction is here. We're at the peak of the bubble. And so in some signs, when you know whether a bubble is getting ready to burst or not, is when everybody's talking about it. When there is irrational exuberance in the market, that's when everybody's talking about it. And then when the price exceeds the actual value, right? I had a friend who called me from Texas last week, and one of his properties sold for $75,000 over the asking price. And we're seeing properties go for 6 figures over the asking price. And so the value is everywhere, not there. And so we're right at that bubble.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for everybody, if you have not yet to invest in your real estate, hold on to your money. Wait a little bit longer.
That's right. Hold on to your money. You'll be able to buy it for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, there you go. And for anybody who you know wants to try to invest in the market and want to learn everything about it, there's always a great way to learn of how to utilize your income for it and your business income for it. So to learn all about it, I am super excited that LaShawne is here. She's a great friend, and every time I need an advice, or every time our members at Salon Cadence need advice, that's the #1 person I go to talk to when it comes to a little more risk. Okay, guys, a little more risk. So thank you so much, LaShawne, for spending the time with us.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This has been so wonderful to so many people.
Yeah.
And I know this is going to continue running. So we'll see how many people are going to. Maybe we'll create a Salon Cadence group. Just Salon Cadence group.
Anything for you, Ronit. I would do it.
I love you. I love you. Okay, guys, we're top of the hour. Thank you so much for coming. Huddle Time with Ronit. And next week we're going to have another Huddle Time, and I can't wait to share with you, Michelle. We're going to talk about texting, technology. We're talking about how you can utilize technology to multiply your time.
Awesome.
So thank you, everybody. LaShawne, don't hang up. I'm just going to get off the air.
Okay.